Hi, Justin. Thanks for talking. I wonder, are you one of these Australians who likes to batter the opposition as much as possible, or do you prefer when the opposition put up a bit of a fight like today?
England, as we expected, particularly after lunch, played really well. I thought our first 2 hours, similar to what we've seen for a lot of this whole Test series, was just as relentless a bowling as I've seen from Australian cricket. I think we had nine maidens, incredible bowling. And then, as we've sort of been waiting for throughout the series, great fight back. I thought Ben Stokes courageous with his side. Obviously, Johnny Bairstow, a brilliant Test 100. He got pretty rough knock on his thumb. So really courageous effort from particularly Johnny and Ben Stokes, as we'd expected. It's been another great day of Test cricket.
Nick Savage.
Thanks, Cole. G'day, Justin. Just very quickly, are you able to provide an update on Scott Boland? He obviously went off the field today with a suspected side issue. Is he able to bowl tomorrow morning? Yeah,
we saw he will be. He was actually all right to bowl tonight. We saw that when he fell over or slipped over, he's actually, I think his elbow jammed into his side. So thankfully, it's amazing modern technology, isn't it? He went for a scan just after the break, and we were looking at his ribs on the computer screen about half an hour later. So thankfully, there's no fractures. He's going to be sore in the cartilage between his ribs, but hopefully he'll be right to bowl tomorrow or in the second innings. So whether it's and tomorrow morning, but in the second innings, definitely.
Thanks so much.
Andrew Ramsey.
Oh, hi, Justin. Just wondering if you could give a bit of an assessment on Cameron Green's bowling. Last summer, he couldn't sort of buy a wicket, and this time it looks like he might be getting a wicket every time he bowls. What in particular has changed? Has it been technical, mental, or?
Yeah, Andrew, he's only a very young player, and I was very fortunate to coach him at West Australia when he was 16 years old, and we could see, I always felt he's growing a lot taller, but I always felt he was a tall version of Shaun Pollock. His young action looked that way. He's got a massive upside in all his cricket. I mean, you've seen not only with his batting and bowling, the way he fields in the gully, he's an amazing athlete. But I think last year, because he'd come off a couple of stress fractures in his back, he was thinking probably more about his bowling action or technique than he was about taking wickets. So, and again, it's a bit like a young batsman. When you start thinking about your technique, you stop watching the ball, and he's got a bit more confidence in his body now. And again, what a prospect. I mean, he comes from so high. He's got great skills. He's a good competitor. So he's got a huge upside for us with the ball as well as obviously his bat.
Andrew McGlashan.
Hey, Justin. We saw a few deliveries all through the game really sort of jump at the batters from sort of just back of the length, and then periods where it seemed a lot more comfortable to bat on. Just what have you made of the surface, and how do you think it might go over the next 2 days, providing we don't get too much rain?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it'll keep playing. Our experience last year was against India, as we can all remember, that I think we needed 6 wickets on that last day, and it didn't do much, or 6 or 7 wickets, 8 wickets, whatever it was on that last day. Didn't do much. So time will tell. There was a good even coverage of grass, more even than I've seen here at the SCG for a very long time. But I think it's been a pretty good wicket. I mean, we scored 400 in the first innings. I thought Usman Khawaja's 100 yesterday was absolutely sublime. It was just so good for him personally. It was great for the team, great for the depth of Australian cricket, but he's so easy on the eye, isn't he? He's so nice to watch as a player. So great to see him bat well. And Johnny Bairstow scored 100 today. He took one to the thumb, but it looks like a pretty good wicket. So all up, it's been a good test wicket so far.
And just quickly, if I can, Justin, I guess the partnership between Ben and Johnny today was kind of the first time where England have really taken it to your bowlers in this series. There have been a couple of 100 stands, but they've been a bit more sort of calm. How did you feel the bowlers responded to sort of being in that scenario probably for the first time this series?
Yeah, I thought, as I said, I thought the first session was as good as, well, it was indicative of how we've gone. We've been really relentless with our lengths, our lines. We've had bowled good pace. And I'm not sure whether Ben, because of his side injury, threw a bit of caution to the wind, but we always know how dangerous he is. Where everyone in world cricket respects, if Ben Stokes, Joss Buttler and Johnny Bairstow in the middle start playing aggressively, they're going to put you on the back foot, right? So we all respect that. They did that today. I thought Nathan Lyon's wicket was important of Ben. We're going to have to be really good tomorrow to make sure that we stay in the contest with Johnny, try and get him out as early as possible and keep the game moving forward.
Thanks, Justin.
Couple more here, folks. Dean Wilson.
Yeah, hi Justin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you came into Test cricket, you had a bit of a baptism of fire against the West Indies, Ian Bishop, guys like that. I just wondered, from an opening batter and an experienced position as yours, have you got any words of encouragement for Haseeb Hameed and Zach Crawley, who are obviously kind of facing a bit of their own fire and brimstone at the top of the order? And any words for them?
Well, I think they're both really good players. Technically, they're really good players. I was very impressed today with some of the cover driving. He's a tall man, but some of his cover driving, he looked like he wanted to play the pull shot, which are good signs. I mean, they're good tools to have to be successful in Test cricket. Hameed the same. I think he looks like, technically, we watched a lot of him leading into this series. He looks like a good young player. And what I like about him is, I mentioned it to David Gower this morning in the press, that I've just been watching how hard he works on his game. He's constantly in the nets. He's constantly, the other day he was facing in the nets, and he was on the bowling machine. He was playing some short stuff. He was out in the middle. He's running around fielding. So he's obviously got a good work ethic. So if they keep working hard, and there's no doubt they've got some talent, there's no reason they can't be successful at this level.
Two more here, guys. We'll go with Robbie Forsyth, and we'll finish off with Ben Horn.
G'day, Justin. You talked a little bit about the bowling attack today. I was just wondering, what about Pat Cummins in terms of sort of how he fared? It was one of the, I suppose, tougher days that he's had since taking the captaincy, and just in terms of like pushing the game forward, like the challenge that he faces if there is a little bit more rain around these next 2 days.
Yeah, look, he's got good support around him, and it was probably certainly not the first session, as I said, was absolutely brilliant bowling. I mean, it was brilliant Test cricket, and England had the better of us for the second two sessions. So that'd be good for Pat. That'd be great for his captaincy development. It can't always be rainbows and butterflies, as he's probably found so far. But yeah, I mean, it'd be good for his development. And he's a cool head. We spoke after the game. We'll talk about how we're going to attack England in the morning. But he's so far he hasn't put a foot wrong, and I don't think he has today either.
Thanks.
Last one here, guys. Ben Horn.
Hey, Justin. Usman's big 100 yesterday. I mean, does that give you guys an interesting conversation before Hobart, or do you feel that the positions of Head, Harris, Green are all locked in?
It gives us plenty to think about. No, it was the same as when Scotty Boland played so well, and we thought Josh Hazlewood was coming back into the team. Unfortunately, Josh hasn't come up. Hopefully, he'll be right for the white ball games. But it's not. They're nice problems to have, and it almost sounds like a cliche, but it actually is. I mean, you got the Travis Head's 100 in Adelaide, coming back from being out of the team for a while, was just brilliant. A great show of maturity from him to come back and play as well as he did. Usman Khawaja, I mean, that was a dream yesterday. So yeah, we'll have some thinking to do, but the series gone great so far. And we've made some pretty good calls so far, I think. So hopefully we'll do the same for Hobart as well.
Justin, just to clarify, Josh he's no chance of playing in Hobart. You'll just sort of save him for the one days.
Yeah, at this stage, it's looking like that, Ben. He had a fitness test, and it's been really tough on him. He's been really hanging out to play this Ashes series like everyone. He's missed 3 games to have one of our premier fast bowlers out of the series. I guess it's a bit like England missing one of their premier fast bowlers. We've missed Big Josh. At this stage, if I was a guessing man, I'd say that he probably won't play the next Test match, but we'll wait and see.
And just in 2 or 3 words, Justin, would Jai be in contention though for Hobart? Jai'd still be a chance?
Yeah, definitely. Well, remember, it's a pink ball Test match as well. So to have guys like Michael Neser and Jai both played the pink ball Test, a successful pink ball Test when Paddy Cummins and Josh were out. So they're both going to be in contention. So, yeah, I mean, it's exciting to have these options, isn't it, with a couple of our players going down.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And thanks to JL for coming along tonight. We'll catch you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
Cheers.